everybody, this is Mark Diesen, and I'm bringing you a lecture on a opening system to fight 1d4 by white, an opening system for black against 1d4. The opening system I'm going to recommend is the Noteboom Variation of the Slav defense. The Noteboom variation is named after a Dutch player, Daniel Noteboom, who died at a very young age of 21, and he regularly essayed this variation. Let me quickly show you what variation we're talking about. We're talking about the queen pawn openings. Black can play e6 or c6 here. A lot of the players that play the Noteboom play e6 first. That gives white the option to play the exchange queen's gambit, but with a little less force than in some other possible variations. But anyway, the Noteboom variation is characterized by this structure we have on the board here. So black first plays d5, then he plays e6, then he plays c6. Now, this has several good features to it, this Noteboom variation. I have the names of some players of a game we're going to review, but I'm talking about the opening in general at this point. The Noteboom itself is when white plays knight f3, black plays d takes c4. And the idea of the opening is that while white spends time regaining the pawn, black gets active piece play and perhaps some passed pawns on the queen side. That's the basic. So this is the basic starting position of the Noteboom variation, and it's been very successful for black. It's one of those openings where the statistics are very favorable for black. If you're a database hound and you're a type of player that is really interested in statistics, you'll find that the statistics for the Noteboom are excellent. If I can add my own personal experience, I tend to do well with black with a Noteboom, and I tend to do not so well with white. Maybe I shouldn't be saying that, but that's the truth. And so that's the variation we're going to be examining tonight. The Noteboom is a variation of the Slav defense. Technically, it's considered to be a variation of the Slav defense on the Queen's Gambit, although probably the majority of the people that play the Noteboom play e6 first. But I should also mention that Noteboom is Daniel Noteboom got his name attached to the variation. But there's an Englishman, Gerald Abrams, that played the variation early on. In the 1990s, a bunch of strong players started to try their hand at the Noteboom and reinvigorated the whole system. And I think that has a lot to do with its current popularity. But I wanted to go ahead and just look at a game here from 1992 between Komayakov and Sorokin, and I think this is rather typical of the Noteboom variation. So that's why I think we can go over it. It should be helpful in explaining the variation. So this game is from 1992. So once again, we see black play e6 first, as opposed to c6. It really doesn't matter. You can, if you're a player that likes a Slav, you could easily play c6 and then play e6. Both moves are fine. With respect to entering the Noteboom, white plays knight f3 and now c6. And now, what are some of the other advantages of the Noteboom? Well, first of all, if white wants to sidestep the discussion of the Noteboom variation and go into the exchange Queen's Gambit, notice that bishop g5 is not yet pinning anything because there's not a knight on f6. So in my way of looking at it, this is an improved. Black has improved possibilities when it comes to the exchange Queen's Gambit. That's one aspect of the Noteboom I like for Black. And the other aspect I like for Black is, if I'll just throw out a move for illustration purposes that wasn't played in the game, what if White plays passively or something? Black can change his mind and play basically some kind of Stonewall Dutch. And that's a very aggressive and very interesting system. And Black plays knight f6 and bishop d6. And the bishop might even have... Black's white-squared bishop may even have to make a long journey, like e7 to e8 to h5, or b6 to bishop b7. You know, it might take a while to activate the Black's so-called bad bishop, but it is achievable. And I like both aspects of that. I like the fact that there's the exchange Queen's Gambit has less bite to it, and I like the fact that I can go into the Stonewall Dutch under certain conditions. But let's continue with the game, which actually features the Noteboom proper. White continues development, and Black takes the pawn. So here's the starting point for the Noteboom variation. And now we see what typically happens. White goes to work to regain the pawn and maintain, while maintaining a very impressive center. Black plays b5. White attacks the black pawn structure. Now bishop b4, a key move to pin the knight and prevent White from regaining the pawn. White breaks the pin. And now Black has two moves, a5 and bishop b7. They tend to transpose. It's really hard to pick between the two. They're rather of equal value. There's some minor subtleties comparing the two, but nothing that major. In any case, in this game, Black tries a5, so we're still following the quote-unquote main line of the Noteboom. But notice that White has not regained his pawn yet. Pawn takes pawn. Now Black trades on c3. Now the bishop does achieve an apparently fairly satisfactory development on c3, but Black takes on b5, and once again the pawn has not been regained. So now White plays b3, so White is now finally in a position where he's going to regain the pawn. This is the exact idea of the Noteboom, that White goes through all these contortions to regain the pawn, but in the meantime Black gets a very impressive set of passed pawns on the queen side and very active pieces. So now Black plays bishop b7. Now the rook on a8 is guarded, and that's going to help Black in his efforts to play b4. So now White does finally regain the pawn, but Black plays b4. And now we get a position of bishop b2. Black continues development with knight f6. White plays bishop d3. Black continues development, knight to d7. It's a very flexible move, a very good square for the knight. And we see both sides, queen c2 is a strong move, helping control the queen side and developing the queen, and Black plays queen c7. And now we see castle by both sides. So we could almost consider this main line type play in the Noteboom variation. So White has an awesome center, the two bishops, and why should he be dissatisfied? Well, Black has very good pieces. The knights are well placed, the queen's well placed, the knight could go to g4. Black's bishop on b7 is extremely active, but more importantly, the two connected passed pawns on the queen side are rather strong. One's on the 5th rank, one's on the 4th rank. It's very important to note that if Black can achieve a4 at some point, the passed pawns go from being a nuisance to a major nuisance and a major danger. So white has to be constantly vigilant about trying to make sure that black is not able to easily play a4, because then basically the pawns are so close to promotion that it even changes the evaluation of the position. Now, just to show how tricky it is, probably the ultimate main line of the Noteboom, white plays e4 here. But just to show you how tricky the position can be, let's look at some alternatives. In this game, white plays knight e5, seemingly an active and strong move. And black comes up with a really nice pawn sacrifice, which basically shows that white's idea is not a very good approach to the position. Of course, white could do some other build-up move like rook fe1, or he could also try some other knight maneuver. There's plenty of other attempts, but e4 is really considered perhaps the main line of the Noteboom. But knight e5, it's not obvious why knight e5 is not a good move, but black's play, I think, will put you in the camp convincing you that knight e5 is not a move that black has to be real concerned about. Black goes ahead and sacks a pawn. Boom. Knight e5. He allows the exchange, and he's going to lose his pawn on h7, but the problem is, in the meantime, black achieves some huge positional goals. He achieves the goal of a knight on c5, and he gets in that all-important move a4, or he gets to a position where white can't prevent that. So now we see bishop takes h7, king h8, and now white has to choose a move here. White players have also tried rook f to d1 here without very impressive success. Black has achieved a decisive advantage in several games. We can go through those games in subsequent lectures. But in this game, white plays the seemingly natural bishop to e4. So he's trying to he won a pawn on h7, and he's trying to run away with the loot. And now we see black play two exclamation move, a4, double exclamation. The white queen on c2 is overloaded. If the rook takes on a4, black could trade rooks and play bishop e4. Or if white takes on b7, queen takes, rook takes, there's a problem with b3, a tactical problem with the rook on a4. So the point is that black has achieved the all-important move a4. And like I mentioned to you before, that move can, all of a sudden, the connected passed pawns that black has go from being dangerous to very dangerous. So white continues on. He trades bishops. And now, of course, rook takes a4 is met by b3, and that would be considered a tactical mistake. I think the best, the obvious move for white is bishop to e4, when a good move for black might be queen c6, defending the pawn on a4. And black certainly has considerable positional compensation. That did not occur in this game. In this game, white tries rook a d1. That's certainly a logical move. White envisions putting the rook on d6 or something of that nature, or maybe putting the rook on d4 and trying some kind of rook lift for a mating attack. And in any case, here come the pawns. So we can see that the pawns have, once the black pawn reaches a4, group of passed pawns become extraordinarily dangerous. So white tries for mating attack. Black stops the coordination of the queen and the rook with g6. Now the bishop retreats to a1. And now we see black play b3. Just simple chess. Pass pawns, push pass pawns, especially connected pass pawns. The big achievement was black being able to play a4, and that's what converted the pass pawns from assessment of dangerous to an assessment of extremely dangerous. And now white, of course, continues on, but is in grave trouble here. Black plays a very nice positional move, attacking the queen, defending the pawn on b3. And so white continues to pursue some attacking ideas here. Now white plays queen d4. Of course, white is hoping there's some way to get the queen into the attack. Unfortunately, the pawn on e5 is pretty much stymieing the participation of bishop a1. And, rather than black playing the obvious move, winning material, he first neutralizes any attacking possibilities by exchanging rooks. And we even see the loss of a knight for black, but the passed pawns are just so overwhelmingly strong that black has a win. He plays b2. We see white try queen b5, and now black has such a good position that he can trade off by rook c8, and the threat of rook c1 is unstoppable and results in a winning position for black. So basically black prevails with the connected pass pawns on the queen side. So in this game we witness white attempt to play knight e5. We can hardly blame him because it seems to win a pawn, but what was underestimated by white was that black can sacrifice a pawn to achieve the ability to play a4 and gain a swift victory with the strength of the passed pawns on the queen side. So this to me is a very good example of the dangers that white faces from seemingly a very nice position. White has a nice central position, white has the two bishops, but one cannot underestimate the strength of those connected pass pawns that black has on the queen side. Once a4 is achieved by black, it can become quite difficult. So this is a very good example.
Grandmaster Damian Lemos here for OnlineChessLessons.net. First of all, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you would like to receive more free chess videos from us, you can just click the subscribe button below. I would also highly recommend signing up for my free mail course, the 10 Grandmaster Secrets to Dominate Chess. During this exclusive course from OnlineChessLessons.net, I'll share with you my own Grandmaster shortcuts to effective attacking, defending, and growth hacks to improving your chess without complicated books or memorization. So sign up by clicking the sidebar on the right, and I know you won't be disappointed. Once more, this is Damian for OnlineChessLessons.net, and I'll see you in my videos. Thank you.